blows my mind. That's flex right there. It keeps on flexing. Hello Cali, only New York. Guys, this is Cielshock from CT USA Mini 4-Wheel Drive Racing Squad, and I have a very special guest today. I got Monte from NYC Club. Mini 4-Wheel Drive.
You can call me Ike. That's my real.
Yeah.
Ike. Monte. Yeah.
Yeah, Monte. I use Monte. Today we're here at Connecticut, and he did an event demonstrating everybody about just expanding the hobby. He got a setup here that really intrigued me. It's called Force Labo system, and it's the first build I ever seen this here on the East Coast. And by himself. So I got finally a chance to interview him, and he's gonna tell him all about his setup.
Okay, so here's the basic setup. I spent a bunch of time in Tokyo this winter. I was around a number of places. Force Labo was one of the places. And this guy Koike was really cool, who works at Force Labo. He gave me this printout of a bunch of instructions in Japanese to show how to do this, which I put up in the Condell app. If you look for Monte, that's me. And
Condell out?
Condell, C-O-N-D-E-L-E.
Right, I'm gonna write it down over there, so you can guys search for it. It's an app that you can search different mini 4-wheel drive setups.
Lots and lots of mini 4-wheel drive awesomeness. And the gist of this setup, we got a real one here instead of the pictures. The gist of this setup is that a bunch of the guys were doing stuff where they were trying to go completely brakeless and trying to go with systems where they've got sprint dash and plasma dash motors in their cars going brakeless in 5-lane tracks. Like they're really crazy. So what they wanted to do, they're gonna fly. They're gonna fly out all over the place. They're trying to come back in and land okay. So that's what this design is for.
All right. So what are the advantages of this setup compared to a regular setup?
So the advantage is that when you're coming back into the track, the rollers end up hitting the side of the track, and you don't lose inertial force by bouncing around and with a rigid arm setup. So the rollers, these guys actually move up and also then back, right? A lot of the 5-lane tracks in Japan have big gaps between the tracks, and so they're really, really rough on your car. So you need something where your rollers are going to be able to take that impact and you keep moving. So the front, that's where some of these front dampers with a lot of rubber, that's really, really common.
It's really awesome.
And then all this floppy stuff in the back. Also a lot of flex for catching all that air so that you land and take it all.
So just out of curiosity, like when you twist the S2, because that's an S2, right?
Yeah.
So with twisting it, you don't lose a lot of power if you're twisting it?
Well, yeah, you don't lose power when you're hitting the ground. You don't lose forward inertial force as much, or the inertial motion of moving forward.
Gotcha.
So if you are in a stiff chassis, when this corner hits the ground, you bounce, do all of this kind of banging around, and in that you lose a lot of forward motion because the track's forcing you around.
Makes sense.
This allows you to soften that, thereby gaining, continuing with inertial force, right? Objects in motion stay in motion. That kind of physics. But then these rollers, the cool part of this design is not just the fact that it's so flexy and moves all over the place, but that when you're in the track, it's stiff, right? So
it's actually stiff.
The angle of the roller stay is just forward enough that when you're putting side pressure on, it doesn't move until something comes along to knock it back, which is really, really slick.
Yeah.
It's really quite a slick, cool design. And the way that I did this one, and I've seen some of the others, there's a lot of variations, subtle variations, but this also, when I'm braking, I took advantage of one of the pieces to actually brake.
What's this for, actually?
This is an underguard. So mine is, I haven't seen anybody do this, not like I'm special, but this is a car catcher.
Yeah,
so it's a legal part. And this is an underguard to keep you from catching on you will still catch on your roller if you catch it. So you need some underguard, and most people have underguards there. Some folks were doing things where they delaminate carbon fiber pieces, the Tamiya pieces, with a knife and a hammer. And split them apart so you have these really thin flexy pieces of carbon fiber. They're also good for this because they flex when you hit.
So this is actually legal. People that doesn't know, this part is legal. I will type the item number if you guys are curious about it. Yeah, and you got offset tires over there.
If you want a black one, you're gonna have to wait 20 years. I don't think they're gonna make those.
Oh, they're not gonna make that one.
No,
it looks like a fish actually if you look at it.
Yeah,
there's like that.
Or the teal one. Yeah.
I like that color.
Yeah.
So there's a damper over there. Okay.
So the damper part, the damper, I'm not real satisfied with this design actually, because for the way that I'm used to actually tuning the rest of the car, I'm used to having weight further out on the back of the car, way out at the as far as possible. What I saw in Japan that was cool, people using this car catcher material to make damper stays, and they used axles from stock car kits. They're heavy, and they would tape them with the Tamiya tape. So you could add as many axles as you wanted and fine-tune the amount of weight, but you put it out as far as possible and your rear, because the further, it's like a lever and a fulcrum, right? The further away you are from the chassis, the less weight will do more work when you're actually dampening. It will have more physics, it will have more forceful impact when you have it further away from the body of mass that you're moving. So this is a little too tight for me. This is a little up front and in the nose, and I don't know. It's been a fast car, but I haven't really pushed this and got it to a point that I'm happy yet. So I don't know if, basically, I don't know if that's a good idea right now for me.
Front damper.
Front dampers, they're okay. There's no batteries in actually. This rests on the batteries, so these are dropping a little low and hitting the ground. These are a millimeter off the ground, just a little more than a millimeter.
Just to make it legal.
With the battery, yep. So it's kosher and cool. This design I don't like because it doesn't flop enough. So a lot of the cars I saw in Japan with all of this setup and this super I'm gonna fly kind of mentality.
So they flop like
they flop up, and guys were even doing cool stuff where I saw them take pieces of Lexan bodies as well as even the car catchers and make a prop that was acting a little bit like a spring, keeping the shocks up in the air and in motion. Now I haven't figured out the physics of that yet, but I'll tell you those guys were wicked fast. So I'm interested in exploring that to keep it up in the air. It's counterintuitive to a lot of the other designs I've done that are more rigid, but to have all of that up in the air and bouncy just doesn't feel right. But boy, I want to try some things.
So is it like requirement to have it up front, or you can do a regular rear body damper? Because this one is a front damper.
Oh, you know, I don't know. I didn't see anybody doing this style in the back with a rear body damper angle. There's an advantage, and I don't know if it's part of there's an advantage to a front damper that I haven't explored in the rear, like what the corollary would be. When you have the damper in the front, it's evident on another car we'll have to unpack. On the front, when this comes down, there's a little bit of, you see that little bit of forward motion as gravity's pulling this down. It's like a lever going forward, right? So there's a little bit of energy to me that's grabbed going forward that is visible in other cars with a rear damper. The same thing happens the other direction, back, right? So I don't know. I'd love to see somebody explore like the real qualitative differences there. You know, because there's a lot of other subtle things that could make that little physics difference moot if you have some other thing going on, like weight or the way you, or even just practical concerns like I can't mount it there, it breaks all the time. Gotcha. Or, you know, that kind of thing.
Yep. And the last part is the front flex, like the front roller.
Oh, this one, yeah, I broke some rubber here, so this one's toasted, but this one's still got all three. Yeah, this is a really simple, common system. Yeah, this is just a flex on the front. Disadvantage, smaller rollers, so less surface area of your roller is hitting the front. A lot of people do the double roller thimbles. I don't know. I don't like the double rollers because they just feel like cheating to me.
I rock the double rollers.
But they're also really useful. But you know that feeling.
Yeah.
So I have not tried this yet, and I have some double rollers I want to try this with and actually do a little testing. But all right, we'll get there.
So yep, that's pretty much his setup. And if you guys like it, take a last look. I will post it on my YouTube page. Don't forget to hit subscribe. And thanks for
thank you so much.
Thank you for the interview. And I show you is the
Shell shock. Shell shock.
No, they're both on the oh, right there.
Drop it like this.
Oh, yeah?
My mom built it. My mom built it. Cut na lang.
You grab it from the front. You don't stop it like that. You catch it like this so you won't ruin the car. There you go.
Cielshock from Connecticut. We're live in California. Come on. Cielshock in the house.
Guys, somebody has walked away with one of my cars. The stock car in the very front. Yeah, and I think as a kid. Nope, it's not any of the boxes.
The one